Namaste, Goa flowers. I hope this finds you well. I am Anita Goa. If you're new to me in my channel, welcome. I'm offering a new upper body yoga stretch today. This one is fairly quick, very effective. You can do it after a workout or even at the end of the day and maybe add on a little shavasana meditation at the end. I try to make these a little bit different each time, adding something that we've never done before and just sort of change it up a little bit. I hope that you can make use of it. Please let me know in the comment box below. Thumbs it up and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you on the mat. A yoga block and a yoga strap is going to be very helpful. You might need it, you might not need it, but just keep it next to you just in case. So we're first going to drape our torso over the yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can roll up a blanket or use a pillow. So the yoga block is going to go right where your shoulder blades are. And you can lie back, let your knees come together, and let your head rest behind on the floor. And open your arms into cactus arms. So your elbows, you want to try to see if your elbows can touch the floor. And close your eyes and take as full inhales and exhales as you can. You will most probably feel a stretch through your abdomen, into the front of your shoulders and into your chest. You want to make sure that you don't feel any pain in your lower back. So as you let your knees come together, you can rest at the tips of your sitting bones so that there is an arch in your spine. You can always move your head a little bit side to side just to release any tension into your neck or into the shoulders. Good. Then toe heel your feet together. And bring your arms into the center. And you're going to roll over to your side and come up to a seated position. So you don't want to lift yourself up straight because it would be too much pressure on your abdomen and also on your neck. Then sit on the yoga block. But this next stretch can also be done standing. So what I like to do is keep one leg bent on the floor and one leg bent with the knee pointing up and sitting as tall as possible. And then I'm going to place my hand onto the wall and keep my arms about shoulder height with the palm starting to rotate clockwise on this side. And then I'm going to gradually start to open my torso towards the front without moving my arm. And stay here and make sure that you can fully breathe, and you'll feel a stretch into your front of the right shoulder and chest, as well as probably the bicep and your forearm. So we're just continuing the stretch that we had in the previous pose, but now we're stretching each arm independently. The other arm I let just rest on my second leg, and I stay here for 5 to 10 breath cycles. So fully inhaling and completely exhaling. Feel free to gently move your head side to side. You want to make sure that you don't develop any tension in your neck as you're doing this. Good. And then to come out of it, slowly rewind and go back, bend the elbow, and then slowly release the arm. And maybe just circle and shrug the shoulder forward, back, up and down, and up and back, forward and down. So, good. And it should feel quite open and like there's a little bit more movement there. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. So I keep my left leg bent on the floor and the right leg bent this way with the knee pointing up. And then I place my hand on the wall and I turn my hand counterclockwise on the other side. Okay, and then I try to open my chest in the opposite direction. So breathe in and breathe out. I hope you can see this. I know it's not the perfect camera angle, but it is what it is. Full breath in and full breath out. You might feel it differently on the second arm. Sometimes it's good to stay a little bit longer on the side that is a little bit tighter. Soften the shoulders, soften your jaw, soften your eyes. Good. And then to release, let your torso move to the side, bend the elbow, and then gradually just peel the hand off the wall and just circle the shoulder around. Excellent. Now we're going to come to an all fours position and do a few cat and cows while we turn our fingers to point our knees. Arms are shoulder distance, legs are hip distance, and then exhale round to cat stretch and inhale arch it to cow. Do that again. Exhale round it into cat and just giving our wrists a little bit more of a stretch. So especially if you felt that in the previous pose, now you'll stretch them both. But also releasing any tension and tightness in our spine. Good. And then release one hand at a time. Like that. And we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to slide the right arm to the left and let our ear rest on the floor. If you want to let your ear rest on a block, that's also good. And then see if you can ground the left palm onto the right palm. But if it feels better to keep the left palm grounded onto the floor for support, do that. And once your palms are grounded together, then you'll notice that your top arm is bent and the bottom arm is extended. See if you can roll the left shoulder back to straighten out the top arm, so both arms are the same length. And then draw a little bit back into the right hip. So you'll feel a pretty deep stretch into the right side of your spine and the outer seam of your right arm. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Then ground the left palm to the floor, push the floor away, and come up. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So slide the left arm to the right. Let your ear either rest on the floor or on a block. Keep your right hand either on the floor or ground the right palm on top of the left palm. And then roll the right shoulder back to try to straighten out the right arm. And then draw a little bit back into that left hip, or maybe you have to draw a little bit into the right hip. Just notice how your hips feel. And feel that stretch into the left side of the spine and the outer seam of the left arm. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Then ground the right palm to the floor, push the floor away from you, and come up. Ooh, lovely. Then you're going to sit back and sit on your heels, or if you want to sit on the yoga block into hero pose. If it feels better to cross your legs and to easy seat, go and do that. Or if you want to sit on the chair as well. Cross the right elbow on top of the left for eagle arms. Lift the elbows and drop your shoulders down. Move your head a little bit side to side, up and down. And then we take the previous stretch a little bit further into this eagle arms position. Feeling your shoulder blades separating, and just breathe in between the shoulder blades if it feels very tense and tight there. Good, and release. And then change it to the other side. Cross the left elbow on top of the right. Lift the elbows, drop the shoulders down. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good, and release. And it's always good to just circle the shoulders forward, up, back and down, or back up, forward and down, just to release that excess tension. Right, now we're going to come back up off of the block, and we're going to place the block in front of us. Come into a position where your hips are on top of your knees. They might shift back a little bit. We're going to place our elbows on the block. And if you want to take 2 blocks, you can also take 2 blocks. And then I'm going to let my head move in between the arms and let my forehead rest onto the floor. That feels fine for me. But for you, if it's better to just keep your head lifted, but make sure that your neck is long, you can stay there. Then you want to allow the hips to move back a little bit, so that you feel a deep stretch into the side waist. So you're stretching your lats. But also, if you want to get a little bit deeper into the tricep, you can bend your elbow. So move your thumbs towards your shoulder blades, or right in between the shoulder blades, as you let your chest melt towards the floor. Okay, so this is a pretty deep stretch for the triceps. You should feel like you're in a stretch, but it needs to be comfortably uncomfortable. It should be a place where you can fully inhale and fully exhale. Good, and then slowly come out of it. I love that one. And then return back into the hero pose, and you can again sit on the block. Now we're going to reach the arms up, and we're going to bend the right elbow and stretch each tricep and shoulder individually for the cow's face arms, and take a hold of the elbow. Press your head against the arm. And you can stay here, and then you can also bring the left arm down and behind and see if you can join your hands. Use a strap here if you find it hard to join your hands, and I'll give you a view from the back. So this is how it looks, just in case you don't know. And then fully inhale, fully exhale. Try to maintain as much extension in your spine as you can. Soften your shoulders. And of course, you can do this standing as well. That might give you a little bit more leverage. Standing and being higher above the ground instead of being lower to the ground. And release it. Yeah, so it's a good thing to do both of them. And then lift the arm, left arm up. Bend the elbow, take a hold of the elbow, and just try to press the head back a little bit, so that way you get a little bit more extension. Just notice how it feels in the tricep, and then work the right arm down and behind and see if you can join your hands. All right, so breathe in and breathe out. So all of these poses work together. Try not to be discouraged. If one feels harder than the other, just keep repeating them. Write them down. You can practice them individually or together. Hold them longer or shorter, and just really, really make it your own. Good, and release. Yay! You can interlace your fingers and stretch the arms away, stretch the upper back, stretch the arms up, and then bring the arms behind your back, interlacing the fingers, opening up the chest. And release, shrug it around. Beautiful, lovely. So that's just a short little routine to help you give yourself a little quick stretch after a workout, or maybe at the end of the day. Let me know how it felt for you. Let me know in the comment box below. I love to hear from you. Thumbs it up, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye.